Hello everyone, welcome to the Green Man channel, hope you're all good and well. So in this review, I'm tackling the 7th studio album from the black metal band Dark Funeral, and their album We Are the Apocalypse was released on Friday via Century Media, and the album is 45 minutes and it's 9 tracks. And I think this will be a kind of album for you if you enjoy your black metal. Pretty straightforward, it's pretty uncomplicated, and pretty bludgeoning as well. There's quite a lot of that sort of blast beat drumming style for much of this album. The vocals are very good and pretty ferocious throughout. For me, I have one or two slight criticisms of this album from the perspective, first of all, of the sound. I think of the album at times it felt like the rhythm guitars weren't very loud, so you couldn't really hear the rhythms too well. You could hear the drums pretty clearly, but for me, the guitar should have been a bit more audible, so that overall balance in sounds there as you're going from track to track. I just felt at times that was missing a bit on this album. I also thought as the album went on, I thought it was a really strong and pretty solid start to the album with Nightfall and then the Let the Devil In, two of the singles. But as the album went on, perhaps around sort of the middle of the album, it just felt like the song structures were getting very similar for me. There was a similar approach to each song, which will be fine for some people, as I say, that like this sort of black metal and like it very uncomplicated, and. But for me, it just meant that I lost interest personally. I just found it a little bit harder to sort of stay in touch with the album as it went on. Although I did enjoy, funnily enough, one of the other album singles here, Leviathan, which gave a bit more of an opportunity for lead guitar, which I don't think we saw much of prior to that track. I would have liked to have heard a bit more lead guitar on this album too. But as a result, I did enjoy Leviathan quite a bit as well. I also thought Nosferatu was a good track and a really good demonstration of the vocal strengths on this album as well, and also offered at times, I think you get it on other places on the album, a bit some spoken word stuff too, a bit more spoken parts rather than just the sort of harsh vocals, which I enjoyed that sort of that dynamic in this album too. So yeah, I mean, I would stress actually, I think this is a pretty decent album, but it's just, I think it could have been better with an overall better, slightly better balance in sound, perhaps just a little bit more variation in the approach to the different song structures that were on offer here. For me, I did feel that, I think in particular, When I'm Gone, Beyond the Grave, and Beast of Praise was where I personally was drifting away from this and thinking, yeah, I kind of feel like I've heard this already a bit on this album. Even if they were fresh songs, they didn't feel entirely fresh to me, and I'd have liked to have gotten that sense a bit more from this album. So, the album taken as a whole, I still think is pretty decent, and I'm going to give this album a final score of a 6 out of 10. Do feel free to drop in the comments what you thought of this latest release from Dark Funeral. You're welcome, as I always say, to agree or disagree, but feel free to drop in, how you think this fares in the discography of Dark Funeral against their previous offerings as well, and whether or not you think this is one of the stronger albums from them. Otherwise, from me, I made this a fairly quick review today. I will say take care everybody, and bye for now. See you next time.